Manchester. We're getting ready for the under-18 women's semi-final between the Nottingham Wildcats and Ipswich. We've had some fantastic games already today, and you can keep up with all the action on the Basketball England YouTube channel. We are bringing you 24 games over the weekend. 12 games today, the semi-finals, and tomorrow it will be the finals and third and fourth placing games. Kaz Bullock here alongside Hannah Alty, and we'll be with you throughout the game as we get ready to tip off in just under 5 minutes' time. So Hannah, I mean, what a morning we've had already.
We have, Kaz. 2 fantastic games on this court. Another, however many, on the other courts. So yeah, I'm ready to go again.
And this is a rematch of the National Cup final, the Under-18 National Cup final that took place in Worcester in January, where Ipswich came out on top against the Nottingham Wildcats. So, but this has been one in the calendar for these teams.
It has.
So the Nottingham Wildcats, unbeaten in the Northern Premier Division this season, finishing in first place, 14-0. It is their 3rd straight junior Final Fours, but they have never made it to the final, so they're looking to try and make history today. They made the final of the Cup and were runners-up at junior Final Fours. Sorry, they have not made the final in the last 3 straight years that they've done. They did make the final of junior Final Fours in the 2014-15 season against the Seven Oaks Suns. I apologise. It's been a long morning.
It's a long morning, Callie. You're fine.
And the Nottingham Wildcats averaging 92.5 points per game, holding their opponents to 39.5. They have the best offence and the best defence in the Northern Premier Division, and the best offence across both divisions. They came through against the Kingston Lions, 96-61. And we'll be playing Ipswich today. So someone to look out for here on this Nottingham Wildcats squad, Hannah. Tiara Chambers-Desmond. We see her playing the WEABL. She's 3rd in points per game in the WEABL and also playing for the Super League Wildcats.
Yeah, she's a great player. She's was averaging 22 points in the WEABL. She was the MVP for the WEABL in the North and the Defensive Player of the Year as well. She's just a player that just comes off the bench, and she's a starting player who just plays really well. And I think for her, you know, she'll be a great impact for Nottingham today.
Certainly, and alongside her, Ophelia Lardley, the Defensive Player of the Year in the North in the WEABL. They're a real difficult duo for teams to go up against.
Yeah, they are.
And for Ipswich, so 11-2 in the Southern Premier Division, 2nd place in the Southern Premier Division. Last year's winners against Kohler, 59-58. That was a game for the ages, that final last year. And they've made 3 of the last 4 finals, winning that cup in January as well against the Nottingham Wildcats. They've been averaging 61.6 points a game and holding their opponents to 44.7, coming through the quarterfinals against the Manchester Mystics, 67-54. And on this Ipswich team, Maisie Keys, a name that'll be familiar to anybody that's watched any final ever, because Maisie Keys is always playing in finals. MVP of the National Cup in January, a 17-point, 12 rebound, 9 assists and 7 steal game. She's an all-round player who will, by that stat line, she just does a bit of everything.
She does, yeah. And again, she's another player that won an award this year. She got the All-Star Conference team for the WEABL. She's just a great all-rounder. She's a fantastic guard. She's really shifty, and also she's no stranger to this stage or this court. You know, she's played here now since she was a junior, so she's very much aware of how bouncy these rims can be.
And alongside her, Angel White, she's had a breakout season in the WEABL this year. 15.1 points per game, 7.6 rebounds and 4.6 assists. She is a rapid-fire player who will get to the basket and score.
She will, yeah. She's really tough. She's got a lot of confidence on that 3 as well. I tell you who I'm most excited about the matchup today is between Holly Ensall and Tiara Chambers-Desmond. I think this is going to be a really tough matchup watching these 2 bigs play against each other.
It is, and that's a really interesting comparison as well, because these are players in different conferences. The only time they'll have met up before will have been in the National Cup in January. And we talk about this at the different age groups. Sometimes you might not, if you're a player like Holly Ensel or Tiara Chambers-Desmond, you might not come up against a player in a similar position or as tall maybe as you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're about 2 minutes away from tip-off. On court 1, you can watch Kohler taking on the Wolverhampton Slam in the under 18 women's semi-final. And then on the backcourt, we have the under-14 boys semi-final, the Milton Keynes Breakers and the Reading Rockets. They'll be looking to see who will face the London Stars in the under-14 boys final tomorrow, as the Stars booked their place earlier today.
Sorry, just to correct myself, I said it was Ophelia Larder-Lee that was Defensive Player of the Year. She was, wasn't she? Apologies there. And she was also the All-Star Conference team as well. She is another player to watch, I think, for this Nottingham team. She just does everything on court, and that's what we saw in that cup final as well. She was all over the place for Nottingham, hustling hard, pushing the ball up the floor, and she really was able to get in the way of her opponent and stop the ball.
She really was. It's that long wingspan. It's that long wingspan, and you'll hear us talk about it. If you've not seen Nottingham play before and Ophelia Larder-Lee, you will hear us refer to that, because she makes it so difficult for people.
Yeah, and another thing to talk about with both Tiana Chambers-Desmond and Ophelia Larder-Lee is that they have that experience at the SLBW as well.
Yeah, and also a couple of other players out there as well for Nottingham, so they have that experience at the top level. And there was a Nottingham game against Sheffield Hatters in the Super League playoff quarterfinals last night, and we saw maybe Tiana and Ophelia maybe didn't get as many minutes as we're used to seeing them, but I imagine that was with this game in mind and this weekend in mind.
Yeah, it has to. You've got to save strength and, injury prevention.
Absolutely. And, they've both done it. Both of them in particular, and also the other players playing up as well in the Super League, have done a fantastic job of being able to have that experience on the big stage. And we've seen some great games in the Super League this season, haven't we?
We have. It's been such a joy to watch. And, it's been an incredible season. And it's great to see these younger players playing at that level. It's a completely different stage. But then when you come to these moments like this, you've got that experience of those nerves and that kind of the anxiety that you can then, you have that at the SLB, but you can do it here, no problem.
And it always benefits players, doesn't it? When you play against tougher competition, it makes you better. It's that iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, and it does not just about your skill level as well, but I think your basketball IQ and also your leadership skills. Players like that learn from the best. They learn from those top players in those top flight leagues, and they know then how best to unite their own teams at their age level.
And I always think it's so impressive as well. You'll see younger players, and like we will see under 18 players, under 16 players. But as you mentioned, that leadership, that they are bringing it back onto the court. So they're teaching some of the younger players on their team, and they'll really benefit from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving these high fives we're getting today,
We get some good fist bumps. It's just you've got to learn the trick of talking whilst fist bumping.
Whilst also fist bumping. It's a lot nicer being this side of the court than the opposite side of the court. I feel like I'm involved.
Does it make you want to jump on?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to tip the ball to me, I'll take a few shots.
So teams out on court, Nottingham playing in green and Ipswich in white and blue. Starting for Nottingham, it will be Tiana Chambers-Desmond, Ophelia Larder-Lee, Matea Georgieva, Kyra Johnson and Kosi Anyanwu, and for Ipswich, Kaya Bateman, Angel White, Maisie Keys, Holly Ensel, Anna Koselny-Lemaire, and first possession goes to Ipswich, and Ensel wastes no time in getting onto the scoreboard.
No, Ipswich didn't leave a second there to get that first basket, and that's what they do. They push the ball up the floor. They like their quick scores.
Georgieva to Larder-Lee. Larder-Lee back to Georgieva. 3 seconds, puts it up. I think someone got a hand on that. The ball will go the way of Ipswich. And this is an Ipswich team that like to run. They like to play very fast. And it helps when you have players like Angel White out there and Maisie Keys, who are going to...
who are whippets, can get the ball up the court.
White gets the ball over the halfway line. White pulls up off the back iron, ball's tipped, and Lardali down the floor. Chambers-Desmond from deep, in and out, that's unlucky. And a long pass down the court, but Chambers-Desmond breaks it up. And Bateman sneaks in from behind, pokes the ball away.
And that's what Ipswich do, you know, they're sneaky, they do come up from behind. You cannot sleep when you have the ball, you have to be aware of your surroundings. They like to pick the ball really quickly.
Bateman, just under 4 steals in the WEABL this season. As Georgieva will set things up for the Wildcats. Georgieva, 8 seconds. Good hands from Maisie Keys, knocks the ball away. She's off and running down the floor. And ball will go out of bounds. And Ipswich not able to score in that possession, but that's what they've got the run. They're doing what they want there, which is half the battle, isn't it? To do it.
And you've just got to keep pushing.
As ball goes out of bounds, stays with Nottingham. Johnson to inbound. Georgieva all the way to the basket, banks it in. Wildcats get onto the scoreboard. White. Bateman, great save from Bateman. It'll be intercepted by Chambers-Desmond. Johnson to Anyanwu. Anyanwu to the basket, not that time. White has Bateman up ahead. Bateman able to keep it under control. Back to White. White steps back for 3, splashes in from outside. And Angel White, I mentioned that she's so quick, but for an undersized guard, she gets so many rebounds, and she uses her size really well.
She does.
I know that wasn't a rebound, it was on the shot.
It was a point to make.
She's a real all-round player as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ophelia Lardali showing why she's a Defensive Player of the Year here.
She makes it so difficult, and that'll be a foul called against Nottingham. But you can see there the pressure that's put on, and Lardali really sets that tone.
She
because
does.
When you have a player on your team who is the Defensive Player of the Year, you know, your teammates see that, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and she's in the pocket of her player constantly. And it just adds that next level of intensity for your defence.
And is it a case of sometimes as well when you're like, oh, we have to play Ophelia Lardali, we've got to come up against her, we know she's difficult. It can almost be a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, it can really get into your head. You know you've got a defender who's going to swallow you on court. It's the dread.
Ensol powers her way to the basket. And a good finish there from Holly Ensol. And Ensol, for me, she was the WEBL Defensive Player of the Year in the South, but she's been one of the most improved players that we've seen.
She really has. She's been fantastic.
Chambers-Desmond gets her own rebound and finishes on the putback.
It's been exciting to see her improvement as well over the last 3 years, I think, as well.
Yeah. Especially through the age group. She's also been playing Division 1 as well. You had that WEABL. She's come through under 16s and under 18s.
Yeah.
As White kicks it out. And 3 doesn't drop. Or Ensol with the rebound turns and puts it back in. And that's exactly what we're talking about right there.
And you can see that court awareness that she has. She can get that spin, still knows where the basket is, and is able to get the basket off the backboard.
Because sometimes when you're young, maybe you can get that rebound, but then the finish doesn't come. But you can see Ensol is so good at that. And good tip there from Koselny Lemaire. Taps the ball off Nottingham, so Ipswich will have possession.
Nottingham have come out in a full court press here, which is doing really well. They're stretching Ipswich up the floor.
It's a 9-4 Ipswich lead. White. And that'll be Nottingham possession.
That was a good stop there by Nottingham. They stretched the floor enough so that, you know, Ipswich weren't able to get that lob pass across.
substitution for the Wildcats as we see Hayley Cheng into game for the first time. And off and running down the floor, Koscielny Lemaire. Ipswich, there is constantly someone leaking down the floor.
Yeah. But that's their game plan. It's always been their game plan. You have the Ipswich zone press and you have their sneaky leak. Every single team has always had it. And it's great because it works. It's so effective. Holly Ensall getting a massive board and lobbing the ball down to whoever's on the break.
As Keys pulls up, shot spins out. Cheng. And Yanwu passes out. Johnson, and ball will go out of bounds. It's a 9-4 Ipswich lead over the Wildcats. Lucy Upton into the game for Nottingham for the first time as Kosi and Yanwu takes a seat. White. Out to Keys. Keys drives to the basket and gets the whistle, so Maisie Keys will go to the foul line.
Another thing to look out for with Maisie Keys is that high backboard shot. She can get the ball really high and it helps draw the foul as well from the defender.
Yeah, she does that really well. And Maisie Keys, a player that came up through the Manchester Mystics program, has played her share of junior Final Fours out here for the Manchester Mystics. Also playing Division 1 for Ipswich this season. Had a 27-point game against Solent at the under-18 level earlier this year as she gets the second.
She was always a great player as well to have on the team in the final because she was such a leadership. She had such a leadership role that she really was able to kind of get the team together.
And you see her do that now as well. You'll see her in timeouts or stoppages on the floor. She'll stop and talk to the team. She's a really composed person to have out there.
And as a coach, those players are brilliant because it just saves you half a job.
To make your life a bit easier.
Just a little bit.
As White with the rebound. Ipswich looking to extend this lead. White doesn't drop. Chambers Desmond down the floor. Lada Lee steps through to the basket. Chambers Desmond's there for the rebound. Fouled on the shot. And that will send Tiana Chambers Desmond to the foul line for Nottingham. A player that's committed to the University of North Carolina, Greensboro in Division 1 next season in the States. There's a lot of players that we'll see now. Some of these players can be playing their last games this weekend for their clubs.
Yeah, he's quite emotional actually as well because it's that, for us as well, we've watched these kids grow up and we've watched them play and, knowing that this is their last weekend, it's tough.
It is, isn't it? And players, some people might, move on to playing more basketball. Sometimes people might not be playing again as much or at this level, this kind of level, a bit more recreationally as Chambers Desmond gets the second. And White, what a catch from White. As that Ensall works inside, too strong. Chambers Desmond with her 4th rebound of the game. Lada Lee. Johnson swatted away by White. Cheng pulls up, in and out, and a huge rebound there from Kyra Johnson. Lada Lee will try from outside, doesn't go. I think Angel White nearly jumped over someone.
She did.
To get that. As we'll have a substitution for Ipswich. And Amelia Ario comes into the game for the first time, and Matea Georgieva comes back in for Nottingham. Keys to White, 8 seconds on the clock. Ensall Ensel working against Chambers Desmond as White finds Ensel under the basket. That's such a fun connection between those two.
Yeah, and it was a great little read as well there from Holly Ensel to stay in place.
Oh, what a basket from Tiana Chambers Desmond. She was almost off the court, hanging in the air.
That angle as well that she managed to get that shot off.
Ensel for Ipswich. Out to Keys. Keys has some space. She'll take it and she'll make it. And Maisie Keys, you can't give her an inch of daylight.
That's not what Maisie Keys does.
Lada Lee, tough shot. Doesn't drop, but Georgieva's there. Will reset for Nottingham. Georgieva lines it up and knocks it down. Matea Georgieva off the bench just then. And we'll have a timeout called as Ipswich leading 16-10 with 2:36 to play in the first quarter. What a hustle play there from Georgieva. Just onto the court, grabs that offensive rebound so they get that second chance and then puts up the three.
Yeah, she's a menace. I mean, I played against her at Birmingham and at D1, and she was just one of those players that you had to keep an eye on her because she just was everywhere, and she was so shifty and was able to just kind of come from right underneath you and get the basket, take the ball out your hands. So yeah, she's again one of my favourite players on this Nottingham team to watch. She's a tough guard.
And leading the way for Ipswich. So 8 points from Holly Ensel so far, along with 2 rebounds. And for Nottingham, splitting the scoring, but Tiana Chambers-Desmond with 5 points and 4 rebounds, and Matea Georgieva with 5 points and a rebound so far. 6 points in the paint for Nottingham to Ipswich's 8, and that's Holly Ensel in the paint. So teams coming back out on court. Cola have a 1-point lead over the Wolverhampton Slam in the first quarter over on court 1 in the other under-18s women's semi-final. Ball stolen away by Nottingham and deflected by Keys. Ensel is there to under the basket, and I think that's the pressure as well, the defensive pressure that starts coming down. And it will be Nottingham ball from the sideline. And a substitution for Ipswich as Evie Fell checks in. And Ipswich led by head coach Harriet Wellham. Nottingham led by head coach Siobhan Pryor as Lada Lee goes to the basket. Chambers Desmond can't finish on the putback, but how great is it to see 2 head coaches that have played at top levels. Harriet Wellham she still plays in Division 1.
She does.
As Keys intercepts the ball. And Ipswich will have it back. But 2 players that have been able to give back and share their experience with the groups coming through.
And, you know, all her experience as well of playing abroad is just kind of giving them that another level.
And Harriet Wellham, just a winner out there on the court, isn't she?
She's just a baller. That's all the only way I can describe her.
And imagine being able to learn from her. Like,
I know.
It comes through for Siobhan as well.
I learned a lot of her, and I played against her.
You're like, I'm learning that. I'm taking
She
that.
did. She actually spoke to me once and was telling me how to do something, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I love that, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I found her and took her out, and I was like, I'm really, really sorry. And she was like, no, that was great. You did this. It was needed. It was the right foul. It was the right choice. And I was like, okay.
As Bateman doesn't get the second, but the tip from White, and I know that Ipswich didn't come up with that, but Angel White, those tips that she gets as Bateman lays in 2. This is a very fast-paced game.
It really is. Both teams are looking to really push the ball in transition and get those quick, easy points. I mean, again, Bateman will steal that. She'll pick it out your pocket.
3 doesn't drop for Upton. Keys has it. White. And 2 free throws to come for Angel White.
She's fearless, Angel White. I mean, she just drove to the basket then with 4 players under the basket and was like, I'm taking this.
It's because she knows as well. She knows that she can either maneuver herself round or she's going to be able to draw that foul. So Hayley Cheng checks in for Nottingham. And Angel White at the foul line. And as we said, a breakout season for Angel White in the WEABL this season. She was 4th in assists per game, 8th in points per game. And against last season, she more than doubled her rebounds, steals, and assist averages and increased the points by game by over 3 times. She's been averaging nearly 11 points a game more than she did last year, and that's massive.
That is huge, and that's how you improve. And that doesn't always come from, you know, your team training session. That comes from extra practices yourself. You know, you don't see that improvement without putting that extra work in.
Getting up those extra shots, getting up those extra reps.
Doing that, you know, the training in the gym, all of that.
So a 10-point lead for Ipswich. Final minute of the first quarter. Lada Lee, too strong. And Keys will set the team up here. Back to Keys. Keys spins. Blocked by An Youngwoo. As Upton can't get it to go. Ipswich possession, 24.7 seconds on the clock. I think we're being asked for a sub again.
I know.
And Pauline Boateng into the game for Nottingham. Boateng, an absolutely fantastic backup off the bench as well. We saw it in the National Cup final. 10 points and 5 rebounds. Had a really good run for Nottingham in that Cup final. Had a, I think it was a couple of baskets in a row where she was just able to get the score that they needed.
Yeah, she was fantastic. She worked so hard as well, and it was that momentum swing that helped Nottingham stay into the game.
Bartley doesn't get the second. Bateman with the rebound. Another chance on offense for Ipswich. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Keys. Bartley, that's short. Boateng with the rebound. That's what she does. She comes into the game and she gets bored.
Yeah.
Cheng. Lada Lee, 2 seconds. Lada Lee steps back, blocked by Bateman. Good defense there from Bateman to time that.
Yeah, she was not giving her an inch of space there. She could tell that I think Lada Lee wanted to take the 3 and look for that step back, but she, no, Bateman said no, not happening.
So at the end of the first quarter, it's a 21-10 lead for Ipswich over the Nottingham Wildcats. And Ipswich have been led by Holly Ensol, who has 8 points personal along with 2 rebounds. Angel White adding in 5 points and 4 rebounds. Maisie Keys, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Maisie, 4 steals. Maisie has 4 steals
already
in the first quarter. I think she's been speaking to Lucy Wabisi from the Solent Kestrels under-14s team and said, let's see who can get those steals today. And for the Nottingham Wildcats, 5 points each from Matea Georgieva and Tiana Chambers-Desmond. Chambers-Desmond also with 5 rebounds.
But again, you know, you mentioned it before, but 10 points in the paint for Ipswich, and 8 of those were from Holly Ensol. It just shows what a big impact she has inside.
And for Nottingham, so obviously Ipswich like to run. They've got 3 fast break points. They've 4 points from turnovers. What do you want to see Nottingham do here to adjust a bit in the second quarter?
I think they just need to be a little bit better with their shot selection. I think they've had some really good looks, but they're not moving the ball as well to create a better option. You know, they've been playing quite individually in terms of getting the ball up the court and then looking to drive an attack, but get a few more passes in there, move the ball a bit better. you know, they've done a fantastic job of stopping the leaks from Ipswich. You know, they've only managed to get 3 fast break points.
Yeah, especially for those first ones, they've been able to...
They've been really able to adapt to that and put pressure on that. And I think that's, you know, will start bringing them some more offense as well.
So second quarter about to get underway in the other under-18 women's semi-final. Cola with a 21-17 lead over the Wolverhampton Slam. You can watch all the action live on Basketball England as Ophelia Lardaleve gets the steal and will get herself to the foul line. It's a long wingspan. That's how she steals that ball on the inbound.
And draws the foul. It's so mad how having that kind of wingspan can really just elevate your arms in a way that draws the foul. Even if sometimes the foul isn't there, refs will call it.
As Lardaleve hits the first. Lardaleve here this time last year with the Sheffield Hatters at the under-16 level. Was named to the All-Star 5 team. Made the move over to Nottingham for this season. And a big rebound for Bartley as Ipswich back on the attack. Keys steps through to the basket. And Maisie Keys up to 7 points, and they almost feel like a quiet 7 points from Maisie Keys.
Yeah, but that's what she does sometimes as well. She's one of those players that she can pop off and have an incredible game, or she just sits in the background. She works hard for a team.
As Lardaleve drills it from outside. And does that open the floodgates a little bit for Nottingham once you see that first shot go through?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
White to the basket. Lardaleve down the floor. Takes it all the way, and you can see the intention on Ophelia Lardaleve's face. Bateman spins, kicks it out. White has Keys. Keys with a deep three. Off the rim, and Boateng, another big rebound. And this is why I love watching her crash the boards. Cheng into Boateng. Ball's knocked away. I think for people that might not have seen before is Maisie Keys. Oh, leaves it short. We have got 2 games going on, so sometimes players will hear a whistle from the other court.
Yeah.
And we were saying earlier, you have to kind of keep playing through just because you're not always sure where the whistle is coming from.
You have to just keep playing.
But that's difficult, isn't it? That's much easier said than done,
yeah,
isn't it?
I mean, I can't work out what whistle's going off. And I've got headphones on.
And it's unusual. You aren't usually playing in a situation where you've got
this is a very separate situation, a completely different environment to, you know, any games that you'll have played unless you make these finals and you're here. So unless you're used to it, it can take a while to get into.
Lardaleve thought about the shot. Drives in, passes out, Upton spins, too strong, Ensel with the rebound. Keys to Bateman. Bateman has loads of space, but passes back round to Ensel. Ensel will scoop it up, it spins out. And Cheng secures it. Lardaleve. 6 points today for Lardaleve. As she goes to the basket, shot bounces off. Bateman almost had a look there, as when she looked ahead, she was like, oh, no one's ahead. That's the first time no one's been down the court. Upton, over to Boateng. Too strong off the glass, Ensel grabs the rebound. It's rebound number 4 for Holly Ensel as Maisie Keys can't get it to go. Put back won't drop. And it's a 1-on-2 break for Nottingham, and a good decision there from Johnson just to wait for the team to catch up.
Yeah, just catch up, settle into it, run an offense.
Upton, round to Lardaleve. Lardaleve turns and fires, it's off the rim. Koscielny-Lemaire over to Keys. Keys and can't get it to drop. It's been a 6-2 run for Nottingham this quarter.
It's been a very fast-paced game as well.
Johnson loses a 3 shot, but Upton grabs the offensive rebound and has a chance to get to the basket. And Lucy Upton she's been right place, right time, hasn't she? She's been doing a lot of those little things that are not going to show up on the stat sheet.
No, she's not, but her footwork as well on those two, the last two, her last score and then her last attempt, she had a great step through and she shows real discipline with the footwork.
So a timeout called. We've got 6:08 to play. Ipswich up 23-18 here in the first half. And it's been an 8-2 run for Nottingham, and that's exactly what they'll want to have done coming out of that first quarter, down 11, and then just chipping into this lead. And it's a case of take it possession by possession, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's just about making sure that you stay focused and you take care of the ball. And I think Nottingham have done a really good job of that. They've had 6 turnovers this so far, and Ipswich have had 8. So I think they've been doing well in terms of that. I think they just need to focus on the finishing. They're currently finishing at 21%, and I think they can just improve that a little bit more with some better shot selections.
So over on court 1, it's a 26-19 lead for Cola over Wolverhampton Slam. And in the under-14 boys semi-final, the Milton Keynes Breakers and Reading Rockets. Reading have a 42-34 lead over Milton Keynes. They're currently in the 3rd quarter. But back on court here, on court 2. It will be Ipswich possession to start things off. White. And we'll see Natalia Lewicka into the game for the first time for Ipswich. And what a save, and then put back by Holly Ensol. And Ensol now into double figures for Ipswich. Upton, 3's up off the rim, chases down her own rebound and will put up the short jumper, gets the bounce.
I think she was jumping there to get that in. Shake the basket a little bit and it might tip it the other way. I like that. Smart play.
Good tactic.
Yeah, very good.
Zelny Lemaire out to Keys. Ensol swings it round to White. 6 seconds. And ball will go out of bounds. It'll be Nottingham ball. A good pressure there from Nottingham.
Yeah, Nottingham are doing really well here to disrupt this Ipswich offence. Ipswich are moving the ball, but they're making some really tough passes, which is offsetting them a little bit. And I think... Sorry, I got distracted by being asked for another sub there.
Georgieva. Lada Lee. Not that time. Lewicka gets the rebound. And it'll be out of bounds. Nottingham possession as we have a substitution, and we'll see Tiana Chambers-Desmond back out onto the floor for Nottingham. Kyra Johnson will take a seat. Johnson with 3 rebounds and an assist for the Wildcats. Ipswich have a 5-point lead, a 10-4 run for Nottingham in this second quarter. Chambers-Desmond, that's short. Ensol grabs the rebound. And a technical foul has been called, so 1 shot to come. So technical foul goes against Nottingham, so Ipswich will be at the line for 1 foul shot. And Maisie Keys will take the technical free throw. And hits it. Keys up to 8 points along with 5 rebounds and 4 steals. That's a very Maisie Keys-esque stat line, isn't it?
It is.
So Hanya, apologies, Hayley Cheng checks in for the Wildcats. Upton to Lada Lee. And Cheng! A huge shot from outside. That was within seconds of coming into the game.
And what an impact that is.
Puts it to a single possession game. Keys. Back to White. Ensol. Keys from outside. Splashes in. And Maisie Keys with the answer. And Nottingham having gone on a run. As we mentioned before, Keys, a real great leader out there. So the team aren't panicked when that run comes back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She moves the ball really well, gets the team settled.
White. Oh, Angel White to the hoop!
What a tough basket.
Takes the contact, will go to the foul line. Looked like she was flying in the air.
And she just looks so chilled as well.
She's like, I'm just hanging out up here.
Yeah, no bother.
Here's my hang time. I think about what I'll have for lunch, then I might, you know, put the ball in the basket. Easy. It's certainly not easy.
It's not.
She makes it look easy.
She makes it look so easy.
And finishes the three-point play. White up to 8 points personal, along with 5 rebounds. Upton. Cheng has it. Lada Lee. Lada Lee looking for a path to a basket. Fouls called on the shot, so Ophelia Lada Lee will have a chance for 2 at the line. And a substitution for Ipswich. As Khalees Bartley back in, Holly Ensol goes to the bench. Ensol, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists.
And unfortunately 3 fouls. I think that is probably why she's having to take a seat right now.
So that's maybe something here that Nottingham can try and take advantage of, because Ensol, she is that distraction inside.
She is, yeah.
Lada Lee gets the second. And Kyra Johnson back out on court as Lucy Upton heads to the bench. Upton with 4 points and 3 rebounds. As it says, 7 points Ipswich lead. White to Keys. And a whistle on the floor, so that'll be
3-second call.
That's our first one today.
Yeah. I think Nottingham are playing Ipswich at their own game here, setting up in that zone, and they're struggling to move off it and get some look inside, get a look inside that isn't being swamped by the defense, by that back line.
Lada Lee, round to Cheng. Johnson, back to Cheng, 7 seconds. Johnson, Cheng with space, 3's up. Oh! Splashes it in all the way from Nottingham. Cheng with 2 main 3's. It's a 4-point game. Keys weaves her way inside and adds into, and again, that's that composure from Keys. Keys up to 13 points, leading all scorers. Johnson. 2 strong balls tipped. Nottingham have it. Chambers-Desmond fading away, banks it in. It's a 4-point game and a long pass down the court will give the ball back to Nottingham. As Natalia Lewicka will head to the bench and Kaya Bateman back in for Ipswich. Nottingham with a chance to cut this to a single possession game. Cheng. Lada Lee. The defense from Bateman smothering.
Yeah.
as the ball goes out of bounds. 7 seconds on the clock.
Nottingham have got 7 seconds left on the shot clock here, so they're going to have to run something quick.
Five seconds. Cheng into the corner. Chambers Desmond drives baseline. Too strong, but the ball's tipped. White spinning, blocked. I think Anyanwu got a hand on that to knock it away.
Yeah, she did.
Cheng back to Johnson. And Anyanwu with another big rebound, another chance here on offense for Nottingham as Chambers Desmond can't get it to go. Bateman to White. And a great lay-in underneath the basket for Bartley. Takes herself to 3 points. Leads up to 6 for Ipswich. Lada Lee. Cheng back to Lada Lee. 8 seconds on the clock. Cheng a deep three. Oh, it's another! Hayley Cheng, 3 made threes.
She cannot miss at the minute, Kaz.
And it's not near the line.
No,
it's a
they're
deep
deep.
3-point game. Bateman to Keys. Keys looks to answer. Can't get it to go. Another chance for Ipswich, but a block from Chambers Desmond. Bateman, not that time, and Bartley's there cleaning up the glass. And Khalees Bartley's done a really good job here stepping in for Helly Ensol on that switch they've made.
Yeah, she's doing a great job reading where the basket is and reading where she needs to be to get those baskets, those second chance points.
Anyanwu adds 2 for Nottingham, and Keys will put it up, but Chambers Desmond knocks. Oh, was that a foul? We have a foul on the shot, so Keys to the line. So that'll be a foul against Chambers Desmond, which puts her on. Well, that will be the third. If that was the call, referees just speaking to the table here. There's 1 second currently on the game clock. 38-35, Ipswich lead. So that was called a foul on Chambers Desmond. So she's on 3, and that's tough to pick up just towards the very end of the half. So it will be free throws for Keys. And the referee's talking to the table and coaches just to explain what the decision was on the court. So substitution for Nottingham as Edie Fell checks in, and Tiana Chambers Desmond will go to the bench. Chambers Desmond 7 points and 5 rebounds for the Wildcats. So Keys at the line, been at the European Championships of Great Britain at the under-18 level last year. Representing Great Britain and England internationally. Was also part of the 3x3 European Youth Olympic Festival last year, playing for GB. Doesn't get a second to go. One more to come for Keys. It was a foul on the 3-point shot, though. Yeah. As she gets the third. And there'll be 1 second on the clock. As that will do it for the end of the first half. Ipswich leading 39-35 over the Nottingham Wildcats. And Ipswich having been led by Maisie Keys, 14 points for Keys, 5 rebounds and 4 steals leading the way. And Holly Ensol, 10 points and 7 rebounds. And then for Nottingham, Hayley Cheng off the bench, 9 points, 3 made threes. She's a +5 in a game that Nottingham are down by 4.
Yeah, and that just shows the impact that she's had as well. You know, she's been going after the rebound. She's got herself 1 rebound there as well. So yeah, she's just been a real high impact player for Nottingham.
And alongside her, Ophelia Lardley, 9 points and 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
And 1 block and 1 steal. I mean, she just...
Fill up the stat sheet.
She does. That is the best way to fill up the stat sheet.
So over on court 1, Kohler stretching out their lead against Wolverhampton Slam, 34-22. They are in the second quarter, around 3 minutes to play. And in the under-14 boys semi-final, Reading with a 56-38 lead over the Milton Keynes Breakers. So we're going to take a quick break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 7 minutes' time. Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's Junior Final Fours weekend as we get ready for the second half of the under-18 women's semi-final between Ipswich and the Nottingham Wildcats. Ipswich with a 39-35 lead as we head into the third quarter. And Hannah, it's been a really fast-paced game so far between both teams.
It has. It's been up and down, Kaz. I mean, I'm out of breath and I'm just watching the game. But yeah, it's been, you know, Ipswich playing the game they want to play. They've been running the ball, running the court, running up the floor, sorry, should I say. It's been a long morning. And, you know, they've been really getting those quick, easy scores on the board. But Nottingham have been playing really aggressive defence. They've been disrupting the flow of Ipswich offence in the half court and getting some really good fast break points as well. So that's why the speed's been so quick. I think both teams are really looking good going into the second half. Nottingham can really chip this away now. 4 points in it. They had those three big threes from Hayley Cheng.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic job of getting her team back into it. And I think for Ipswich, their ball movement and the aggressiveness of Angel White has been fantastic of getting them some good points on the board as well.
Yeah, it's been great to see. And on court one between Kohler and Wolverhampton Slam in the other women's semi-final for the under-18s, 36-22, Kohler leading Wolverhampton. And the Reading Rockets up 62-46 in the under-14 boys semi-final. And it's been great to see the support. Thank you to everybody watching live on the Basketball England YouTube channel, and great to see the support in the venue as well. And what I think is really great as well, you see players maybe not affiliated with clubs that are here today. So I can see Katie Lamond out there, the City of Leeds basketball club coach. I mean, she might be here to see Perline Boateng, who came up through the City of Leeds programme. But you see people that just want to come and watch the game. But we've also got Irina Boado out there.
Yeah, and 2 Manchester players that are about to walk past right now as well, from the Manchester 18s team. And it's just that as well. It's about, you know, it's a community of basketball here in the UK that, you know, and these events really showcase that, and everybody gets involved and everybody knows what a fantastic atmosphere it is. Like, it's the reason it's the best weekend of the year.
It's just like a festival of basketball,
really is.
Isn't it? So 24 games, 3 courts, 2 days.
I mean, there is one downside, and that's the parking, but, you know, that can't be helped.
And, you know, it wasn't as sunny as it was earlier in the week, so, you know, stay inside. But if it does get sunny, take your tablet, sit outside, get your split screens going, because we've got 3 games going on right now across 3 courts. So we're going to come back out onto court here on court 2 for the second half between Ipswich and the Nottingham Wildcats. And it was a 25-18 run in the second quarter for Nottingham, and it will be Ipswich possession to start things off. White can't get it to go. Chambers Desmond. And Yanwu gets her own rebound, finishes on the second try.
What a strong start.
Cuts it down to a 2-point game. And Kosiane Yanwu, one of the players playing Super League this season for the Wildcats. So getting that experience out there as Johnson resets. And Yanwu stops, spins to the basket, ties the game at 39. And Kosiane Yanwu, 6 points. 39 all, Bateman. Koscielny Lemaire, not that time. Good hit from Chambers Desmond over to Lada Lee. And Lada Lee drives to the basket, too strong as Chambers Desmond gets the rebound, fouled on the shot. You could see how much they both wanted that rebound.
Yeah.
Because they both went for it.
They did.
But Nottingham rewarded with free throws here at the line. And Chambers Desmond, previously with the Derby Trailblazers, before playing with Nottingham. averaging just over 9 points a game in the Super League for the Wildcats, and she's more than tripled her scoring average since last season. So again, it's that development, that consistency we talked with, and being able to do that at a top level at this age. It's still a young age to be playing Super League.
Yeah, it is. It's a very young age to be playing Super League. You know, you're coming up against some professional players from...
I mean, so we've just got to stop on the floor. But you're right, you're playing again. I think there's an issue with the time and the clock, so the referee's just going to take a look at that. But yeah, you're playing against professional players. You're playing against players much older than yourself that have had so much experience. I mean, imagine driving to the basket. Maya Bratka's there. And you know, all that experience that Maya Bratka has. And you come up against
Maya Bratka went to basket and I checked her. Is that what you're talking about?
Is that your claim to fame?
That is my claim to fame. Is that what you're talking about?
I think it is.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Just get it the right way around, Kaz.
Bateman to the basket. We love a Maya Bratka basketball play here. Lada Lee. And Yanwu doesn't drop, but Kosi Anyanwu has come out really strong this third quarter, and we've only played just under 2 minutes.
Yeah, she has. She's been real tough for Nottingham, just being aggressive going to basket and going after all the rebounds as well.
Bateman over to White, 5 seconds on the clock. White spins, puts it up and in.
What a finish.
It's that hang time from Angel White.
She got that angle on that as well, perfect.
Lada Lee, shots too strong. Keys grabs the rebound. Keys. And what a finish there from Maisie Keys. 3 players around her, took her time, and did exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, that's her signature spin move, and she can really adapt it well to work out as well the angle of which to go.
Has really good footwork, does Keys.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like we even saw this at the under 16s level.
Yeah, her fundamentals are
really solid.
Really solid.
Did you teach her that?
I mean, it's not about me, Kaz.
Lada Lee, round to Johnson. Georgieva, 3, bounces off the back iron. Huge rebound from Johnson. And another chance for the Wildcats. 7 seconds on the clock. Johnson, 4 seconds, hands off to Chambers-Desmond on the baseline. And it's back to a 1-point game. That was some really good ball movement there from Nottingham. White. Ball's knocked away. Georgieva getting a hand on there to poke the ball away as Chambers-Desmond finds Johnson. Lada Lee. Ensel with rebound at number 8, but Georgieva again just sneaking in. And a foul called there on the floor. And so unfortunately that will be foul number 4 on Holly Ensel, so she'll have to go back to the bench as playing on those 4 fouls. That's tough here in the third quarter.
It is, yeah. 4 minutes into the third, you know, she might have not had enough time to settle into it, and it's a tough move.
So we'll see Khalees Bartley back in for Ipswich and Hayley Cheng for the Wildcats. And Yanwu can't get it to go, will get her own rebound, blocked by Keys, but a foul called on the shot. So Kosi Anyanwu with 2 free throws to come. That'll be Keys' second. So Ipswich on 3 team fouls here, 6:16 to play.
Yeah, Ipswich are just struggling a little bit here, I think, to keep up with Nottingham on the offense. It feels like Nottingham are really going after the offensive boards, and Ipswich are boxing out. Yeah, they've got 18 offensive rebounds. 18 offensive rebounds here, which I think they've probably got quite a few of those in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just shows kind of them not stepping away. They're not going away from this game.
And Yanwu named the England Under-17 Home Nations MVP into the All-Star 5 team last year, playing for England as Chambers Desmond lays in two, and the Wildcats take a 1-point lead. Lada Lee comes up with the steal. Lada Lee to the basket, off the glass, and the Wildcats rolling in the third quarter as they have a 3-point lead. What a run this has been, 9-4 for the Wildcats this quarter. And Kosi Anyanwu, Hannah.
11-4, sorry, Kaz. It's
It's
no, mine's just updated quicker than yours.
11-4. What a run there.
Yeah.
Kosi Anyanwu, 6 points, 6 rebounds. And she's one of those spark players for Nottingham. But they've gone on a really good run. They went down 12 points earlier on. They now come back. They've taken a 3-point lead here in the third quarter.
They have, and they've added another offensive rebound to their list. They've just been really good at, being aggressive and going after everything at this end. And then, Ipswich, it felt like haven't really had many opportunities in this first 5 minutes. They've not really got the ball across to the other side of the floor.
Yeah, and there's been it's because of the tough Nottingham defence as well, getting those stops.
But again, though, and I think we did say this in the cup final as well, if I remember, to maintain this level, this intensity for the next 15 minutes is going to be tough. It's all about having that stamina. Stamina.
Yeah.
Stamina. There we go. I said. And I think that's something that we might have seen Nottingham struggle with in the cup finals, having that. So it's all about now seeing how much work they've put in since January and whether they can maintain it now.
And when you've had that experience and you can kind of see it, Coach Siobhan Pryor obviously will be saying, well, this is what we did and this is what we want to try and adjust and then do this the next time we come up against this team. And they've done that very well.
They have.
Chambers Desmond hangs in the air, floats it in. Chambers Desmond now up to 14 points. Ipswich looking to respond. Keys pulls up, blocked by Anyanwu. And Lada Lee going all the way to the basket. Who's there for the rebound? Anyanwu! 2 big boards from Kosi Anyanwu. She's putting in a shift.
She is.
And I love that there. You can see out on the court the Nottingham Wildcats, the players talking. Tiana Chambers-Desmond, you can see her talking to her teammates saying, yeah, come on.
Let's keep
this going. Good job.
Yeah.
And that's the leadership that you like to see out on the court from players. And again, we talk about it, but in these age groups, these are players that they're still very young.
Yeah.
And you see players, Natalia Luca, that is out there for Ipswich, she's 14 years old.
Yeah.
So you're learning and you're taking all these moments in, and when you are stepping into that leadership position in that young age, it serves you so well, not just on the basketball court, but off court, in your own life as well. Getting a bit deep there, but it does.
It brings it out of us, these games, Kaz.
And Anyanwu gets the roll. She has been so big this third quarter. 7-point Nottingham lead. A real swing for Ipswich, for Nottingham, as Keys can't get the three to drop. Chambers-Desmond. Ball's knocked away. Bateman takes it. Bateman, the pace down the floor, tapped into the hands of Bartley. Bateman gets it back.
If there's anyone that can get the energy up here for Ipswich, it's Bateman.
White, 3 seconds on the clock. White, over to Bateman, and time will run down. A 24-second shot clock violation. And it will be Nottingham possession as we see Lucy Upton check back into the game. And Hannah, we mentioned this in the under-16 boys game that we just had before, but at this point in the game, teams have switched ends.
Yeah.
So Nottingham are not shouting to Ipswich saying, hey, the clock's running down. They're not going to tell them that. No. And it can be quite difficult because it's such a loud atmosphere.
It really is. It's hard to hear. I mean, I've coached in here at this level and on these finals, and we constantly say to the players, you have to be talking to each other, you have to be letting each other know, because you can't hear.
As the ball goes out of bounds, it'll stay Ipswich possession. Substitution for Nottingham. And Hania Correa checks into the game for the first time. And Kosi Anyanwu goes to the bench. A well-deserved rest for Anyanwu.
Well-deserved.
White. Bateman. Ball's knocked away by Lardley, and Lardley doesn't come up with the steal, but that's a really disruptive play.
Disrupting, you're putting, getting involved in the Ipswich offense.
Maria gets the ball in. White puts it up.
And that's 2 forced shots there that Nottingham have made Ipswich do.
And White blocks the shot, but Cheng picks it back up. It's loose. And Chambers Desmond high off the glass. Stretches this out to a 9-point lead for Nottingham. 3:30 to play in the third quarter. Bateman. Ipswich looking to respond. White. Three's too strong, but a big rebound from Bateman. And Ipswich will go again. As Keys running inside.
What a floater.
Keys now up to 18 points, leading all scorers. Cheng, round to Chambers Desmond, three's up and down! A huge shot from Chambers Desmond. 19 points personal.
Now she's the leading all scorer.
She is. White. Jocelyn Lemaire, 7 seconds. Bateman. White calling for it. Space from 3. Fouled on the shot. So Angel White with 3 foul shots to come. And it is this Nottingham crowd, the support from the Nottingham crowd. It's certainly giving the team a boost as well, isn't it? I mean, you can see we've got all this great support. So Angel White steps to the foul line. Dropped 24 points against the London Cavaliers at under 18s this season. And in the WEABL had a 25-point game against Oaklands with 5 made threes. Hits the second free throw. 1 more to come. And gets the third. White now up to 12 points. Leads down to 8. Cheng. Correa over to Upton. Correa, long pass over to Cheng, has space. That's too strong. Chases down the rebound. Great hustle from Cheng. As Correa finds a path to the basket. Now Hayley Cheng, that ball bounced to the other side of the court.
It did.
And she found her way there.
She did. And again, Nottingham forcing Ipswich to make the turnover.
Cheng will set things up. Hands off to Upton. Upton from deep. Not that time. And Anyanwu, another big rebound for Anyanwu as Upton calling for it from outside.
It just feels like Ipswich aren't rebounding at the minute, at both ends, and I think that's what's letting them down at the moment. They're allowing Nottingham 3-4 chances at an offense.
Extra chances.
Yeah, and they're not going after the boards. And I don't know whether that's because they've gone quite small with their players on court right now.
Yeah, especially not having Ensol there.
Yeah.
That's such a big part of that offense and the
But,
rebounding.
you know, at the end of the day, rebounding a team skill. Everybody has to be doing it.
White.
Great cut.
And Bateman gets the roll and the foul. That was a fantastic cut to the basket.
It was a great cut.
So Kaya Bateman with a chance for a three-point play at the foul line. And, oh, it looks like did Lardali just come down, might have caught an ankle. Ooh. So Lardali's going to head to the bench, and Tiana Chambers-Desmond is back in. Nottingham possession, Chambers-Desmond. Chambers-Desmond drives to the basket, and Yanwu grabs the rebound, but a jump ball called as Bateman also there. Oh, no, apologies, that's
yeah, it was
Rio, was it? It was a Rio going for the rebound. It's Nottingham possession. Georgieva looks to get the ball in. Upton. Correa. Chambers-Desmond. Not that time. And White gets the rebound there. So that's a good job from White there. So they stop there. Another extra chance from Nottingham. And White from downtown, in and out. And the final minute of the third quarter. So a substitution as Kyra Johnson back out for Nottingham. Georgieva hands off to Johnson. Johnson fouled on the shot, so Kyra Johnson with 2 free throws. Johnson having played 2 games in the SLBW this season and averaging 10.8 points per game at the under-18 level.
That's consistent.
So gets the first free throw. Johnson with 7 rebounds today, along with 3 assists. And gets herself onto a scoreboard as well. 2 points for Johnson. Leads up to 10 for the Wildcats. A 24-10 run. Bateman. Bateman all the way, that's short. Johnson can't get it to go. Ball's tipped back into her hands, though. She'll have stepped out of bounds as it did bounce back.
You know, it took me ages to realise that was a rule.
That
you can't come out of bounds to come inbound to catch it. So you can't be out of bounds and then come inbound to catch it. I just assumed as long as you're on the court, it didn't matter.
White floats it up, doesn't drop. 9 seconds in the quarter. Johnson, 6 seconds. Georgieva, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Georgieva puts it up. It's short, and at the end of the third quarter, a 10-point lead for the Wildcats over Ipswich, 59-49. And Nottingham, in the last 2 quarters, have put up 49 points, Hannah. They had that 10-point first quarter, so it's been a 49-28 run over the last 2 quarters for Nottingham. That's a real swing after being down earlier on.
Yeah, and to go on a, you know, to win this quarter as well, 24-10, is a real swing. But again, I think, you know, from what I said before, they've got 54 rebounds, Nottingham, and Ipswich only have 46, and you can see that. You can see the fact that, you know, they only have 10 points from second chance points. Nottingham 25, and it just shows you how important.
That is huge.
So that's the 15 points. That's 15 points. So that's 10 of your lead. That's 10 of their leads that they've got from second chance points.
That's really impressive. That's something that they've clearly worked on, isn't it? And they've got the players that will crash the boards. We've seen Kyra Johnson, so 2 points, but a huge amount of rebounds. And it's the case of, like, players learn, don't they? It's not people sort of see the stat sheet and look at the points, but there's so much work that players do that is not just scoring.
Yeah, and I think it's also effort, I think, as well. Like, you know, to go like that after the board, it's a real effort play. It's not just something you can do half-heartedly and expect the balls to come to you. You have to put effort into it, and I think that's what we can see from this Nottingham team right now, is they are really, really gunning for it.
And it's the case as well of, you know, you go in, you get the rebound, but it's also, it can be a very technical aspect to the game, can't it? Like, which way is it going to bounce? How do you know which
read
the read
it well?
is?
Yeah, you have to be able to read it well.
So 10 more minutes to play. It's a 10-point Wildcats lead. And they
steal the ball back.
And Johnson, long two, doesn't fall. But a foul will be called. So first team foul there against Nottingham. And that's a third foul against Anyanwu. It'll be Ipswich ball from the sideline. Upton, great save, and Anyanwu's there. What a play from Nottingham as Upton finds Chambers. Desmond, who banks it in, takes the contact. Nottingham are rolling here in the fourth quarter.
What a play. That was incredible. She did such a good job. Upton there, the way she went after that.
And she started that.
Yeah.
So she started that play that results in the score. Nottingham have an eye on their first final since 2015. If they can hold on for the win, that is what they are going for. And Ipswich, last year's winners, want to get back there and defend their title. As Keys runs into the double team. Keys passes out. Three doesn't drop for Ipswich. And it'll be Nottingham ball from the baseline. Biggest lead of the game so far for Nottingham. Upton, over to Chambers Desmond, Georgieva. Johnson. Hands off to Chambers Desmond, shot bounces out. Gets her own rebound, and Anyanwu's there for the third chance for Nottingham. And again, they're getting those extra chances.
They are.
White to the basket, in off the glass.
Powers away to the basket on that one.
Angel White up to 14 points. Georgieva finds Anyanwu, hands off to Chambers Desmond. Ball's intercepted. Ensol finds Keys, and Keys racing down the court, lays in two. And just like that, the lead is down to single digits. Chambers Desmond round to Upton, gets the ball back. White will reset. Bateman, a long three, in and out and back in again. And Ipswich now going on their run these last few seconds.
They are.
I was going to say minutes, it's not even been a minute.
No, it's not.
It's been... So a 7-0 run for Ipswich. Just under 8 minutes to play. And it's a 6-point game, and that is how quickly things can change.
Yeah, it really can. You can't, take your foot off the gas, especially playing against a team like Ipswich, because they will go for that run. You can think that they've stepped off, and you'll have Angel White coming right back at you, powering away to the basket.
So 62-56, Nottingham leading over Ipswich. Over on court one, Kohler have a 55-33 lead over the Wolverhampton Slam. And in the under-14 boys semi-final, Reading Rockets taking a 10-point win over the Milton Keynes Breakers. So the Reading Rockets moving on to the under-14 boys final, where they'll play the London Stars tomorrow. That'll be at, what time will that be at? 2:30 tomorrow. But all games are live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre, grab your tickets on the door, or go to Basketball England and come and just support this fantastic display of youth talent that we have here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get down here early and get yourself a parking space.
So back out on the court, Ipswich going on a run in the fourth, a 7-0 run for Ipswich as the ball's with Lada Lee. Johnson. And foul will go against Ipswich, so second team foul. And Nottingham will take it from the sideline. Cheng. Chambers Desmond. Johnson inside to Anyanwu. 3 seconds. Anyanwu can't finish under the basket. Ensol gets the rebound. Keys. And an offensive foul is called. And Hayley Cheng standing her ground.
Getting her body in the way. And again, just showing that she might be undersized, but she's still putting her body on the line.
Cheng is a plus 15 today. 9 points, 3 made threes, and a plus 15. That's the impact. So that means that plus-minus column means the Nottingham Wildcats are 15 points better off on the court when Hayley Cheng's out there in a 6-point game.
In a 6-point game, yeah.
Johnson. Oh,
nice finish.
Leads up to 8 for Nottingham. Ensol, great move to the basket, and Holly Ensol takes herself up to 12 points.
A great ball movement there from Ipswich as well, making Nottingham move and creating space and finding those gaps.
Upton, pass into Chambers Desmond, but it's a jump ball called. Possession arrow is with the Wildcats. And Hayley Cheng will take a seat. Mattea Georgieva comes in. Massive credit to Hayley Cheng for how she's played today.
She's been brilliant.
The ball's on the end line. Nottingham to inbound, 11 seconds on the shot clock. Upton. Georgieva, 6 seconds, back to Upton, 3's up and in! Lucy Upton making it rain in Manchester. Bateman, hands off to Keys. Back to Bateman. Ball's knocked away and it will be a last touch Ipswich, so Nottingham will have it.
I mean, if you look at this, Kaz, where we are now and where we were in the cup final, it's a real difference, and it just shows the improvement of Nottingham in the last 3 months.
It really does, and sometimes, like, it's obviously tough to get to a final and to lose, isn't it, and to come up short, but those are the moments where you learn a lot.
Yeah, it's character building.
It is, and it's, you know, as unfortunate as it is, and it's something that you can see that Nottingham, they have really worked on with Coach Siobhan Pryor, and it's paying off. It's paying off here. Chambers Desmond stepping through, gets the bounce. 9-point game, approaching the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Bateman. White spinning to the basket. Good stance from Chambers-Desmond, and ball is knocked out of bounds. Endeavour from deep. Too strong, and Upton can't save it, but she's going to go after it.
She is. Lucy Upton's going after everything. She's really putting in the effort.
Ipswich looking to cut into this lead. And it will be Nottingham ball. And that is why Ophelia Lively was the defensive player of the year in the North in the WABL. The pressure that she puts on. Georgieva to Lada Lee. Ipswich. White, Keys lines it up, knocks it down, and a big shot from Maisie Keys takes it to an 8-point game. Keys up to 23 points. Johnson looks to answer, can't get it to go. Ensel secures the ball for Ipswich, but it'll be picked off at the other end. And Johnson will inbound.
That's 24 turnovers for Ipswich now.
And Nottingham have been able to capitalise on those.
And Nottingham only have 8. So it just shows you how tough the Nottingham defence has been, that they've been forcing the turnovers with Ipswich.
Chambers-Desmond. Not that time, Ensel. It will just be a step out of bounds on the end line. So Nottingham go again. Lada Lee has White on her. Chambers-Desmond. And a foul called against Ipswich. So that's their 4th team foul. Nottingham on 1 this quarter. So fresh 14, and Nottingham go again from the end line. Balls into Johnson, Lada Lee. Anyanwu's shot spins out. Bateman is off and running for Ipswich and lays it in, and that's what we saw from Ipswich in that first quarter. Maybe you haven't seen it quite as much.
We've not. But I think they've done a really good job of, Nottingham have done a really good job at stopping it. They've been covering this back player just to make sure they're not leaking off.
It's a 5-point game, 3:40 to play as Anyanwu draws the foul. And that'll be foul number 5 on Ipswich. So Nottingham heading to the line here, but for the last 3:39 as well. If Ipswich foul, that puts them at the line.
Yeah, it does.
Anyanwu playing in the WABL this season, averaging 8.2 points a game, along with 3.7 rebounds. And a lot of these players we see, so they're playing here at the under-18s level, they're playing WABL, some of them are playing the Super League, and for Ipswich, again, some play D1, WABL for Coppleston, but they play a lot of basketball.
A lot of basketball. And then practice on top of that as well,
yes.
You know, and all the travelling. It's such a commitment these players have to the game.
As shot doesn't go, but Johnson with the offensive rebound. Chambers-Desmond in and out as Ensel takes it. Bateman will go all the way. And ball's loose, but White has it, and White will drop it in, but basket's waved off, so there was a Was it a foul before the shot or just an
I think
out
it was
of
a foul.
bounds?
Yeah, I think it was a foul against Tiana Chambers-Desmond, which was tough. I think it's one of those where you get caught under the basket.
So yeah, that will be Chambers-Desmond's 4th. And we'll have a substitution. Lucy Upton will come back in, so Chambers-Desmond will head to the bench. And a huge game from Chambers-Desmond, 24 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double. As Ipswich down 7, looking to chip into this lead. And it will be last touch Ipswich, so Nottingham have it back.
Ipswich setting up here in their zone press. We've not seen this, I don't think, since the first half, sorry.
Upton to Lardley. Blocked by Ensol. And Ipswich a chance to get some more points on the board here. Bateman. Bateman can't get it to go. Johnson. Rebound number 10 for Kyra Johnson as Lardley sets it up. Not that time, but we've got a whistle on the floor. Is that an offensive foul?
It was an offensive foul. What is that?
So a 7-point Nottingham lead. And we'll see Chambers-Desmond back out onto court. As Anyanwu picks up a 4th foul there, so Kosi Anyanwu goes to the bench, 9 points and 12 rebounds for Anyanwu. Seven offensive rebounds for Anyanwu as White passes out. Keys with a long 3, nets it from outside. And Maisie Keys cuts it to a 4-point game.
Also, what a move by White there. Her handles.
The way Angel White looks after the ball it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is. Great skills there.
So substitution for Nottingham, and we'll see Hayley Cheng back out on court. It's a 4-point game. Nottingham up in the 4th. Lardley thought about the shot, puts it up, too strong. Keys takes the rebound.
I think Tiana Chambers-Desmond just took a breath then. I think she thought she'd fouled.
And it was just an out.
It was just an out of bounds, but I think she, and I held my breath as well for a second.
So quick substitution there as Anyanwu has come back in and Chambers-Desmond's gone to the bench. Cheng looks to get the ball in. Upton. Keys takes the ball away. Bateman spinning to the basket. It's short. And Anyanwu with a rebound is fouled on the rebound, and that will send Nottingham to the line because Ipswich in the bonus. So quick substitutions again here for Nottingham. So Chambers-Desmond comes back in. Upton goes to the bench. And Anyanwu back at the foul line. 13 rebounds for Anyanwu. 7 of them are offensive. Doesn't get the first to go. One more to come for Nottingham. Anyanwu hits. It's a 5-point game, just under 2 minutes to play. Bateman to White. White. Keys has it, 5 seconds. Keys driving inside, needs some help to pass out. White's there, 3's up and in! Angel White cuts it to a single possession game.
what a finish from Angel White. I mean, the composure she had then to make that shot.
And for Maisie Keys to keep control of the ball, get it out to the three-point line when she's on the floor, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, Ipswich with a chance to take the lead back on this possession as the ball bounces about. Our jump ball is called. Possession arrow is with Ipswich. 1:11 to play, and it's a 2-point game. Ipswich, we talked about this being a game of runs. We saw Ipswich doing the start, then it was Nottingham, it's back to Ipswich.
Yeah.
Ensol under the basket. Ario's there for the rebound, but it doesn't drop. Ensol with a block gets the ball back for Ipswich. Ensol working her way inside, but White's there! Angel White ties the game at 71. A 5-point run from Angel White.
Angel White just doing what she does. You know, she was all alone there under the basket, wide open for that finish. Bringing Ipswich right back into it.
What a game, Hannah. This has been a fast-paced game. So 71 all, less than a minute to play. A spot in tomorrow's final on the line. Two teams that have been battling it out, and as you said, a very different game to the one we saw in the National Cup final. Yeah. And I mean, what is going to happen here in the fourth quarter?
I know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. We've got a minute to go.
We've seen some absolutely fantastic games so far. We saw the Kingston Lions under-16 girls team a come-from-behind win over the Manchester Mystics that puts them into tomorrow's under-16 final against the Milton Keynes Breakers. That'll be tipping off at 10 o'clock tomorrow on the Basketball England YouTube channel. And right here, right now on court, we are tied at 71 all, 52.4 seconds to play. And Angel White up to 19 points. She also has 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks.
2 blocks.
And we talk about undersized guards.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's just somebody that does everything at both ends of the floor.
And she's so bouncy.
Very bouncy.
So Nottingham possession. Chambers Desmond. Hands off to Cheng. Cheng will set things up. Lada Lee. Chambers Desmond calling for it underneath the basket. Working inside. Banks in 2. Nottingham retake the lead. Keys to Bateman. And we've got a stop on the floor.
The shot clock.
But again, players, you know, you've got to play through that whistle because you're not sure which court it's coming from.
No.
So, shot clock needs to be reset and time put back on. We are 31.7 seconds left in the fourth. So Ipswich looking for a score here, and they don't need a three-pointer, do you? You can, I mean, you can do it if you get the look. You want the, but you just want to be able to get some points on the board.
Yeah, get some points on the board.
And I mean, there's a wealth of players out there on the court. There are 5 out there in Maisie Keys, Kaya Bateman, Angel White, Holly Ensol, and Amelia Ario. And they've shown us how they can score. So you can, do you look for that inside look to Holly Ensol, or do you maybe look for the, as her distraction, you get the ball inside and pass it out to Maisie Keys and Angel White?
I mean, either way, right now they don't have to drive to basket just because the Wildcats are only on 3 fouls, so they're not going to get, unless it's a shooting foul, they're not going to get themselves to the line. So I think for them it's just about getting the right shot in, not rushing it. You've got 32 seconds to get 2. If you want to go for the 3 and get the win and secure your win, it's a possibility.
So Ipswich will inbound. Have a substitution there as Hayley Cheng goes to the bench for Nottingham. And Matea Georgieva comes in. So sideline ball for Ipswich. It's a 2-point game. Keys looks to get the ball in. Long pass inside, and it will go out of bounds. Last touch Nottingham. So Ipswich will go again. And Ipswich ball from the baseline. So Keys on the inbound. Keys finds White. White round the outside. White looks for a path to the basket. It's short, gets her own rebound. Back to White. Into Ensol, but it's intercepted, and Yanwu comes up with the steal. And Georgieva swings the ball. Orio has Keys. 3 seconds to go, and a foul against Nottingham, but they have a foul to give.
That was a good foul there from Ophelia Lardali. That was smart.
So a timeout call.
Just to stop the ball and just to, it was going a bit back and forth there, and Ipswich had a chance to get a shot off, so that was a very smart foul from her.
So 73-71, Nottingham leading Ipswich, 3.5 seconds to go.
Kaz, do you need to take a breath?
I might do, yes.
That's fine. It's Ipswich ball after the foul from Nottingham, so I think Ipswich will be drawing up a play right now to take from the sideline. They'll be advancing the ball.
What a game.
What a game.
What a semi-final we've got on our hands here.
I love the junior final fours.
The crowd love it, and a big thank you to everybody watching live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. It's great to see so much support out there for the teams across the competitions. We've also, I don't know if anybody's had, well we haven't because we've been here, but the backcourt, the kettle as Isha likes to call it. She says it's popping off, it's rocking in the kettle. It's very loud, and it's an absolutely fantastic atmosphere out there. And it is throughout the course of the weekend. So come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre. If not, get split screens going and watch live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. But we are 3.5 seconds away here in this fourth quarter. Nottingham up 2 over Ipswich.
And Nottingham doing what they wanted to do in the final. They've come back. This is their revenge story, and they're doing it.
It certainly is. So, and again, if you're Ipswich here, you don't necessarily need a 3. You can, a 2 would take it to overtime.
A 2 will take it to overtime.
You just want to put that ball in the basket. Yeah. But they have got the 3-point shooters out there. As White into Ensol. Ensol turns and is fouled on the shot. Yeah. So 2 free throws to come. 1 second on the shot clock. So Holly Ensol will go to the foul line. And a chance to tie here. A chance to tie, and that's foul number 5 on Kosi Anyanwu for the Wildcats. So Anyanwu will have to head to the bench, and we'll see Perline Boateng that comes back into the game for the Wildcats.
I would not want to be Holly Ensol right now. This is what you coaches make you practice free throws and practice. This is what they tell you to do.
But it's very difficult in this atmosphere, isn't it? You've got people on the baseline, just a very, very loud crowd. Ensol doesn't get the roll on the first. And if you're Ipswich here, you can potentially try to intentionally miss. With 1 second in, it's very tough, and you have to get the right bounce. But it is possible here for Ipswich. We've seen crazier things happen this year.
We have seen crazier things happen this year.
So Ensol will line up for the second. Ensol with a big game today, 12 points, and hits the shot. So 1 second to go, and Nottingham come away with a 1-point win. Nottingham heading to their first junior Final Fours final for the first time since 2015. What a huge win for them. Congratulations. I mean, you can see what it means out on the floor.
Yeah, you can. And this is such an established programme in the UK that I think, for them it's well deserved, and it's something that they've, been working towards, and it's well deserved.
And it's a tough loss for Ipswich, but they played so well, and to come back into that, to tie the game with so few seconds left there, a huge game from Maisie Keys, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 and 4 steals from Maisie Keys. And Holly Ensol, a double-double, 13 rebounds and 13 points. And that's tough for Holly Ensol. But as we said, she is, in my eyes, she's one of the most improved players that we've seen this season.
She is really one of the most improved.
And had a phenomenal season. And
she has.
So,
I think for Ipswich as well, you know, they worked really hard with the comeback, like you said, and they kept it strong, and they really did focus on getting those defensive stops.
Hey, Harriet Wellham just coming over for a hello. And Wellham obviously doing a brilliant job with the Ipswich team. And, you know, there's these players, they'll go on to the 3rd and 4th place game tomorrow, but again, lots more basketball to come.
Lots more basketball ahead. They've done brilliantly.
And for Nottingham, a huge game from Tiana Chambers-Desmond, 26 points for Chambers-Desmond. And Nottingham really just fought their way to the win.
They did. And like we said, it's the revenge game. Sorry if you can barely hear us. As you can see how excited Nottingham are and how, you know, excitable and loud they are. But it's well deserved. You know, they really fought back. They lost in January in that cup final, and they came back and absolutely smashed it.
They did, and their 3rd straight junior Final Fours, and having not made the finals before, you know, it's been such a long time. It's over 10 years since they've made a final in the Final Fours, and, you know, credit to them, well deserved. And Tiana Chambers-Desmond, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Ophelia Lardley, 10 points, 6 rebounds. And Kosi Anyanwu, 10 points, 14 rebounds. And just the hustle from the players out in the court.
Yeah.
You called it out before, but the rebounding was just a difference maker.
It really was.
So Nottingham will be moving on to face. Has the other game finished? There's about 90 seconds left between Kohler and Wolverhampton, and Kohler with a 61 to 46 lead. So it will be Nottingham against Kohler in the under-18 women's final tomorrow, which is a really interesting matchup. It's very much offense and defense, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And the Wolverhampton Slam and Ipswich will be playing each other for 3rd and 4th place tomorrow. That game will be at 2:30. And coming up next, we have the final games of the day. So here on court 2, Kohler men against Sussex Storm in the under-18 men's game, and then the London Elite and Solent Kestrels will be playing over on court 1. And in the final game of the day in the backcourt, the under-14 girls semi-final between the Milton Keynes Breakers and the Sheffield Hatters. So a 1-point win for the Wildcats. Wow, Hannah, I think we need to take a breath after that one.
I need a break.
So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with you in around 20 minutes time for the under-18 men's game. So keep it locked to the Basketball England YouTube channel.